So earlier today, I did predict the first batch of games in the first round qualifying for the 2020-2021 Europa League, boys and girls. But I'm back again for part 2 for the rest of the gang. Let's take a little look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction show. Today we're taking a look at the 2020-2021 Europa League, boys and girls. That's right, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash the old subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Europa League related, whoa, football related. We got it all here under roof. That's right, boys. Yes, we did do part 1 earlier, which if you haven't checked it out, make sure you do so. It brings you bang up to date with all the other bits and pieces, all the predictions that took place last time around. Of course, Sevilla are champions once again, winning this for the upteenth time, but they probably won't be around this time around. I think they're going to be too good for the Europa League because they're going to be in the Champions League. And if they play like they played with Lokomotiv in charge, you know what? I think they're going to go places. I think they could compete for the La Liga next time around. Of course, Barcelona just bringing in Koeman. The question marks about Zidane, whatever. Zinedine Zidane. Did we say it's Zidane or Zidane? Personal preference. Anyway, now before we jump into the deep end and take a look at part 2 of the first qualifying round, because there's a total of 47 games, I think there was. We have got the section here, which does include the majority of them. I want a big shout out to the Patreons, guys, boys and girls, because we got a brand new one. That's right. Last week we had Patreon unlucky for some, number 13. That was Ultra Omamura. But today, that's right, we have a brand new one, and it is aka Purple Hazer Nathan Heaver. That's right. Respect to joining the Patrons. He makes it number 14. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I'm smiling from ear to ear. You've absolutely made my day. Made my week. All the patrons make my week every single day. They make my day. So if anyone else wants to join the illustrious VIP gang of 14 of them now, we want to make it 50. Nice round number. Well, 15 would be great. Let's make it 15. I think my goal for the end of the calendar year is 20. If we could make that happen now, I'd have to move the goalposts and make it a new one. Anyway, Nathan Heaver, well done. Respect for joining. I do appreciate it. You are a legend. He's been with us for a while. I remember him, me, LG and Cow, Nathan Heaver, Purple Hazer, all on the old Twitch predicting the Gold Cup stuff last summer. It was absolutely riveting TV. That's right. So big respect to Nathan Heaver. He joins Dylan Goddard, William Shepherd, Ultra Owen, LG and Cow, of course, Bianca Molnar, Daniel Mellor, Cody Coe, Joachim Johansson, Tom Beresford, Tom Clark, John Spurn, Russell Frost, Aztec, Marky B. Mark, boys and girls. Anyone else wants to join, there's a link down below, patreon.com/Roverseas. Check it out. Now, we're going to check out the rest of the games out in the Europa League. Yes, just want to remind you that this is not part of the old Prediction League, which does kick off in the group stages for the Europa League. There are other Prediction Leagues going on as of right now. The French League's got one, the Scottish League's got one, and then soon the English games will kick off. So, just the best way to keep up to date is bang the old subscribe button, which will be the bottom right-hand corner. Keep you up to date with all the games coming at you, thick and fast. So, we're jumping in the deep end and taking a look at these boys. There's a whole bunch of them, so let's get into it. So, kicking it all off, boys and girls, with B36 Tórshavn coming out of the Faroe Islands. Actually finished second in the top flight out of the Faroes, taking on Levadia Tallinn. That must be Estonia. Coming out second out of the Estonian league there. Managed by Vladimir Vashachev. They usually play in front of 14,000 folks to Levadia. Meanwhile, B36 Tórshavn usually play in front of 4,000 folks, managed by Jakob de Borg. So it's Faroes up against Estonia. Can't really go with the Faroes, can we really? There's a bunch of butchers, bakers and candlestick makers. So I'm going to go with Renova Tallinn. In the end, Estonia will go through to the second qualifying round in my eyes. Next up, we have a juggernaut at this stage. It is Motherwell, currently managed by Stephen Robinson. They've started Scottish football okay, not brilliant. Of course, not really set the ground on fire. They did finish third last time around out in Scotland. They expect to do something similar this time around, but they're going to have to make up for lost ground already because they're on the back foot at the moment. Taking on Glentoran, coming out of the Northern Ireland, finishing fifth last time around, managed by Mick McDermott. Usually, Motherwell play in front of 13,000, whereas Glentoran could play in front of 15,000 folks usually. So who's the bigger team? Of course, Motherwell are the bigger team. We're going 3-0 win. They've got the resources, they've got the players, they've got the personnel. So 3-0 win for Motherwell. Next up, we have Alashkert coming out of the Armenian League, finishing third, managed by Yeshua Kevin. You can usually play in front of 6,850 fans. They're going to be taking on Renova. Renova coming out of the Macedonian League, fourth last time around, managed by Buja Islami. And again, they can play in front of 15,000 if the shackles were unleashed by the fans. Again, all these legs taking place over probably on the 27th of August, just before the best day in the world. That's right, the 28th of August. Feel free to put any birthday messages in this thing for me, just to say that you love me. And if not, if you want to go that extra punch, you can become a Patreon. That'll be a massive birthday present. Just saying, folks. Just saying. Anyway, so Renova, Alashkert. Which one's going to come out on top? We're going to go with Renova with a 2-0 win. I don't know these teams. I'm not going to fool you and pull the wool over your eyes and say I know everything about these teams. I don't. This is pure lottery. This is lottery stuff. I did do very, very well earlier. If you haven't checked out the results from part 1 from last time, I did pretty good. But this is where it gets difficult. Very, very difficult. A lot of 50-50 could go either way. And again, with the COVID and no fans, anyone's games here. Sumgayit taking on Shkëndija, of course, everybody's favourite teams here. Sumgayit coming out of the Azerbaijani League, finishing fourth last time around, managed by Akaban Agabashov. Taking on Shkëndija, coming out of the Macedonian League, finishing third last time around. Ernst Gajonka, the manager there. Shkëndija can play usually in front of 15,000 folks. This one's tough. I've gone with Sumgayit with a 2-1 win to snatch it to go through to the next round. Next down we have Iskra Danilovgrad coming out of Montenegro, finishing third last time around, managed by Alexander Nedovic. Usually just 2,500 fans would see these boys in action. Taking on Lokomotiv Plovdiv, coming out of Bulgaria, finishing fifth last time around, managed by Bruno Akrapovic. Again, 13,000 usually can be in attendance on this one. I'm going to go with the Bulgarians on this one. I do fancy the chances. If I feel like Iskra Danilovgrad are just too small to compete at this level. Next up we have Olimpija Ljubljana coming out of Slovenia, finishing third last time around, managed by Dino Skenda. They can usually play in front of 16,000 fans, usually. Dino Skenda, who is, what do we call him? A Croatian professional footballer back in the day. 36 years of age, but he is pulling the strings as governor this time around. Youngster, finishing third last time around, taking on KV out of Iceland. That's right, finishing seventh. They finished seventh. They might, I don't know. I think from my experience with Football Manager, the Scandinavian leagues might be a little bit all over the place, calendar-wise. So they might finish seventh for this current season or something like that. Whereas the previous season might have been the European qualification season. But anyway, they finished seventh last time around in 2019. Don't know what's going on with them this time around. They're managed by Arna Gunnlaugsson. Of course, the great Arna Gunnlaugsson to you and me. Can't go with the Icelanders on this one. I'm going to go with a 3-0 win for Ljubljana to take the points. Of course you are. That's the way to do it. Next up we have Fehérvár coming out of Hungary, finishing second out of 12 in the 2019-2020 season, managed by Gabriel Marton. Usually playing for the 14,201 fans, taking on Bohemians coming out of Ireland. That's right, finishing second last time around. Keith Long is our manager this time for the team. 46-year-old Keith Long. A tough one this one, but I'm probably going to go with the hosts on this one. The Hungarians 2-0 win to take it. Finishing second out of Hungary. Surely that's going to be better quality than that out of Irish. Thing. Next up we have a juggernaut, another juggernaut in this one. If Motherwell were a juggernaut as well, these are like the Real Madrids of this stage. It's Rosenborg, of course, finishing third time around out in Norway. They've kind of come crashing down to earth in recent years. They've not been as amazing as they were back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Currently managed by Angel Haralde. That's right. They've been around since 1917. Their nickname is the Troll Children. Goodness me. Going to be taking on Breiðablik, coming out of Iceland as well, finishing second last time around, managed by Oscar Halvor Thorvaldsson. Really, you got to go with Rosenborg. I'm going big on this one. I'm going to go with a 4-1 win. You might not be able to see it. It's behind me. It's 4-1 in the end. Hammarby coming out of Sweden. They're our next up. They're going to be taking on the Puskás Academy, also coming out of Hungary as well. Finishing third last time around, the Puskás Academy, managed by Zoltos Hornyárik, of course, named after the famous Hungarian George Puskás. Can they get themselves through to the last stages? The club's only been around since 2005. Hammarby have been around since 1897. Goodness gracious me. Managed by Stefan Bilbon. They actually finished third in the 2019 thingamajig. Zlatan actually owns a part of this team, so that means it's a good team. I'm going to go with a 3-0 win for Hammarby. You can see it right behind me, or can you? I don't know. It's there. It's somewhere. It's right there. There you go. 3-0 win. Hammarby will go through. So will AGF go through against FC Honka coming out of Finland? Of course, you're going to go with the Danish on this one. AGF, aka Aarhus GF. Fantastic. Managed by David Nielsen, finishing third last time around in the Danish league. Taking on FC Honka, finishing third as well in the Finnish league. Managed by Versa Vasasa on this one. Usually playing in front of 3,000 fans. FC Honka will get honked on this one. 3-1 win. You can see it. It's there. It's right there, boys and girls. I'm not lying to you. Into the back stretch now. Next up, it's Keşlə coming out of the Azerbaijani league, finishing third last time around, taking on Laçi. Laçi coming out of the Albanian league, third last time around. Currently managed by Amanda Kungu. That is Laçi, usually play in front of 2,300 fans, whereas Keşlə usually play in front of 5,300 fans. This one could go either way, I really don't know. I've actually gone with a 2-1 win for the visitors on this one, Laçi, which means it's a victory for not the Azerbaijanis, but a victory for the Albanians in this one. Next up, we have Maccabi Haifa coming out of Israel, finishing second last round in the Israeli league. Currently managed by Bariak Bakaka, taking on FK Sarajevo. Difficult one, this one. I've probably gone with the Israelis on this one. They finished second in the Premier League, coming out of Bosnia-Herzegovina. Sarajevo, currently managed by Amalia Osin. They've been around since 1921, 98 years, whereas Maccabi Haifa have been around since 1913, 107 years as well. Usually play in front of 30,780 fans. Gone with Maccabi Haifa on this one. Tight one, this one. Could go either way, I think. CSK Sevilla, I'll get Sirens again, one of the juggernauts here. I do expect CSK Sevilla to walk through this one, finishing second in the Bulgarian league last time around. Managed by Stamen Belchev, actually owned by Hristo Stoichkov. He's got 20% share of this bad boy. Of course, Bulgarian ledge, of course, on this bad boy. Yeah, taking on Sirens. What are they? Maltese. They finished first in the Maltese league. They are the champions. They've got a nice little badge as well. Cheeky little number there. Managed by Stevo D'Amato. Yeah, usually play in front of 1,300 fans, but of course, CSK Sofia can play in front of 22,995 fans when unleashed full capacity. Bulgarian Army Stadium. This is a juggernaut. They're gonna destroy Sirens on this one to get through. No questions asked. Put that one down. That's a guarantee. Lokomotiv Tbilisi coming out of Georgia, I believe, finishing fourth last time around in the Georgian League. Usually 27,223 folks can watch these boys in action. Managed by Levadia and Kodgadze, taking on CS University Craiova, coming out of Romania, finishing second. Decent side, this one. Currently managed by Christian Bergordi. Owned by a whole bunch of boys and girls. Usually they can play in front of 30,983 folks. Meanwhile, Lokomotiv Tbilisi usually play 27,223. This one's a big one. This one's tough, but I'm going to go with the Romanians on this one. I think 2-1 win in the end for Universitate Craiova. They're the bigger team, I think, at the moment. And I think they'll oust them. Next up, we have Fehérvár FH coming out of Iceland. No idea about this team. Absolutely no idea. Finishing third last time around. Manager, there's two managers, El Sami Gudjonsson and Logi Olafsson. Unusual approach there. 6,500 folks can watch these bad boys. Been around since 1929. They're going to be taking on DAC Dunchesca Stradal. Yes, my boys and girls. Managed by Bert Stork. He's German. Sorry, they must be good. They're finishing third out of the Slovak League. That's right. Usually play in front of 12,700 fans. Going to go with the DAC bad boys because that's my initials. DAC. That's right. That's pure football logic right there. Next up we have New Saints. That's right. I like the Old Saints. They actually finished second in the Welsh League in the Cymru Premier. Actually managed by Scott Rusco. Do we know Scott Rusco? Formerly of Chester City. That's the best we can do on this bad boy. He's actually a youngster, 42 years of age, managing. Taking on MSK Salina, coming out of Slovakia, second in the division last round, managed by Pavel Stanyo. They usually play in front of 11,000 fans. Been around since 1908. The New Saints been around since 1959. They usually play in front of just 2,000 fans. They're going to get beat though. 1-0 win for MSK Salina. It's around about the level where the North-Irish teams and the Welsh teams come crashing out. So I wouldn't expect them to get much further than this. Next we have Shakhtar Shkëndija taking on the Stanfu Georgiu Sukareni, coming out of Moldova, finishing second in the Moldovan league there, managed by Petr Ojog, usually playing in front of 1,500 fans. We're talking about Georgiu Sukareni here. Meanwhile, Shakhtar Shkëndija, they finished third in the Belarusian league, managed by Yuri Vendub. Been around since 1961, usually playing in front of 4,200 fans. Tough one. Blind, pick it out of the hat. I don't know. Don't know these two. So nothing about them. Gone with a 2-1 win for the hosts. Next up, we have the Israelis. I like a good Israeli. I'm gonna go with Hapoel Beersheva taking on Dynamo Batumi. The Israelis, Beersheva, finishing 4th in the Israeli Premier League last time around. Managed by Yossi Abakukus, is an Israeli fella. Usually play in front of 16,126 folks, usually, and they play in Turner Stadium. They've been around since 1949, boys. 71 years old, taking on Dynamo Batumi. Been around since 1923, finishing 2nd in the Georgian Football League, of course, managed by Georgi Gigajaji. Yes, we all know him. Gone with Israelis, haven't I? 2-1 win, of course. Yes, I have. Next up, we have HSK Zrinjski Mostar taking on Differdange, coming out of Luxembourg. Now, Mostar finishing 3rd in the Bosnian-Herzegovina League last time around, managed by Mladen Zivadovich. Been around since 1905. Differdange been finishing 5th in the Luxembourg League. 2018-2019 season. Don't know what happened last season, but that's the latest knowledge I got. Managed by Paulo Adamodo, usually playing in front of 3,800 fans on this one. They're going to get spanked. Well, they're not going to get spanked. They're going to lose. Gone with a 1-0 win for Mostar. That's right. And then Valletta coming out of Malta, taking on Ballatown coming out of Wales. Valletta finishing 2nd in the Maltese League, managed by Jesman Zarefa. Usually play in front of, I don't know, where do they play? I don't even know where they play. Do you know where they play? I don't know where they play. Yeah, but they got Argentinian in there. Got a couple of Argentinians on the team. Yeah, that's all I got. Taking on Ballatown. Ballatown are actually managed by Colin Caton. They finished 3rd in the Welsh League. They usually play in front of 3,000 folks. They're known as the Lakesiders, and they're going to squeeze through past the Maltese guys. 2-1 in the end. Welsh team will make it through to the 2nd qualifying campaign. We got more, boys. We have plenty more. Let's take a look at these bad boys. Okay, boys and girls, next up we have FK Kukski coming out of Georgia. No, Albania. Albania finishing 2nd in the Albanian League last time around, managed by Shkëndija Gega. Been around since 1930. Going to be taking on PFC Slavia Sofia. Been around since 1930. Managed by Zlata Meja Zagogovic. Finishing 3rd in the First League out in Bulgaria. Usually play for 25,556 folks. Bigger team, surely. 2-1 win for Slavia Sofia to get themselves through to the next round. Petro Cub Helsinki. Oh, next up we have Petro Cub Helsinki taking on TSC Baka Topola. Everyone's favourite. Petro Helsinki coming out of Moldova, finishing 3rd last time around. Managed by Lilian Popescu. Been around since 1999. That's right, 21 years old. Just usually 12,000 folks. 1,200 folks could actually watch that one. That's a small club. Taking on the Baka Topolas, coming out of Serbia, finishing 4th last time around. Been around since 1913. 5,000 usually can watch these bad boys. Sultan Zarsbo is the gaffer there. Going to go with a 1-0 win for the visitors on this one. Baka Topola. Former players coming out of these bad boys. No clue. No clue indeed. Next up we have Servette coming out of Switzerland. Decent side. Probably one of the bigger boys in this qualifying campaign. Probably feel embarrassed to be at this stage. Finishing 4th last round in the Swiss Super League, taking on MFK Rosenborg. So you'd fancy the Swiss to come through this one. As MFK Rosenborg coming out of Slovakia, finishing 5th last time around. They're managed by Jan Haspara. Been around since 1906, usually playing in front of 4,000, 5,000 fans. Meanwhile, Servette actually managed by Alan Geiger, usually playing in front of 30,000 fans. Been around since 1890. Goodness, it is a joke that this club like here has to go through this one. They are managed by Alan Geiger, veteran manager, has been there, seen and done it. Managed a lot of teams out in the Swiss leagues. Grasshopper, Nicky Martin, Axmax, Luzone. Has also been out, looks like, in the Middle East as well, Egypt and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, he's a former Swiss player, Alan Geiger. He's gonna piss all over these boys. He's gonna piss all over them. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for Servette. Next up we have another juggernaut. That's right, it's Steaua Bucharest, aka FCSB. 1947 they've been around. Their managers Anton Pachera. They finished 5th last round in the Romanian League. Of course, a monster club. Former winners of the Champions League back in the 1985-1986 season, and they've dominated Romanian football for a while. Of course, it seems to be all change for Steaua Bucharest these days. Not as powerful as they once were, but it's still going to be too powerful for this. Another embarrassment of the club. They're going to take on Shirak, who are Shirak. They're from Armenia. They're going to get pissed all over. 2-0 win for FCSB, aka away Steaua Bucharest. Next up we have Nefki coming out of the Azerbaijani Premier League, finishing second last time around, managed by Fazuli Mamadev. Usually playing for 11,000 fans. They've been around since 1937. Taking on, who are they taking on? KF Shkëndija, managed by Muhem Bariami. Been around since 2012. Newish kind of club. Difficult one, this one. Difficult. It was me Scottish eye there. 1-0 win. Nefki to snatch it. Next up we have the Cypriots upon Limassol, coming out of Cyprus, of course, finishing fourth in the top flight out in Cyprus, managed by Savariaris of Augustu, usually playing 13,331 fans, usually taking on FC Sabatola Tbilisi, coming out of Georgia, finishing third last time around, managed by Timo Shekabadadze, usually playing 25,000 fans. Just been around since 1999. I'm going to go with the Cypriots on this one. Not big, not much. 1-0 win in the end. Next up, we have Aberdeen. That's right, of course. Familiar name out in Scotland. One of the bigger boys, finishing fourth last time around, managed by Derek McInnes. Not the greatest start for them, of course. COVID and all that kind of running through their veins at the moment. They need to get themselves back into tip-top shape. Usually play in front of 20,000 fans at Patodri. Taking on NSI Runovic, coming out of the Faroes. Should be an absolute belly buster for Aberdeen. Good chance for them to score some goals. I've only gone with a 2-1 win just because I just think they won't be as good as they want to be, and they'll make it a little bit hard for themselves, but they'll get through in the end. Next up we have Bodo Glimt, coming out of Norway. They're finishing second out in the Norwegian division last time around, managed by Kjetil Knutsen, usually playing in front of 7,354 fans. They're going to be taking on Kenuno Zalgiris, coming out of Lithuania, finishing fourth last time around, managed by Rokas Kastaras. 500 fans usually, so they won't. It'll be like playing in front of the normal fans right here. So you've been around since 2004. I do expect Bodo Glimt from Norway to come out on top quite comfortably with a 2-0 win to go through. Next up we have an interesting one, Shamrock Rovers. I think they're good enough here to take out Ilves. Ilves coming out of Finland, finishing fourth last time around, managed by Jarko Vis. That name rings a bell. Taking on Shamrock Rovers, managed by Stephen Bradley, finishing second in the League of Ireland last time around. They've been around since 1899 and they play in front of 8,000 fans usually. Jacko Wiss, formerly of Hibs, played for Hibs way back when, and of course former Finland internationals, played for Molde, played for Stockport United as well. But Shamrock Rovers will do enough. 2-1 win to go through. There it is in the lights. And then going to wrap it all up, boys. Go with Lech Poznan coming out of Poland, finishing second out in the Polish league last time around, up against Valmeres coming out of Latvia, finishing fourth last time around. Poznan will piss all over them. 3-1 win in the end. And there it is. Just there. Right there, boys. And I think that is it. Goodness gracious me. Yes, it's been a tough old couple of videos there. I've got about as knowledge, same amount of knowledge as you guys on this one. Just get involved in the old comment section. Put your predictions in nice and early for both part 1 and part 2. I will give part 1 and part 2 feedback, of course, whenever they come around, because it's going to be quite hard for me to do these bad boys. Anyway, again, this is not part of the prediction league. We'll do that next time around when we get to the group stages, of course. The best way to keep up to date with everything is bang the old subscribe button, which is bottom right hand corner, and bang the little bell so you don't miss a beat, boys and girls. Also give the video some loving by giving it a thumbs up as well. That's it. Again, if you want to join the extended family, become a patron of the channel, there is a link down below, patreon.com/Roverseas, boys and girls. And if you want to check me out on Twitter, Facebook and all that kind of jazz, check there. They're all in there as well. Again, birthday coming up. I'm willing to accept birthday greetings of any kind. And if you want to make it an extra special birthday, you know, looking for patrons. Looking for patrons for the channel. Anyway, enough about that. I'll see you all very, very soon. These games taking place on the 27th. My birthday's on the 28th. We'll be back around the first week of September for the next batch of games for this bad boy. It all gets thick and fast. Sevilla may be the champions, but who's going to win it this time around? We'll talk all about that in future videos right here at Blackburn Overseas. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.